In this video, we have grants for everyone. Let's get right to it. You remember our spreadsheet that I told you about in my prior video where I linked to all the grants that I encounter? If you haven't, click the subscribe button, click the bell notification to stay on top of all the grants that I discover that you can use to save and feed your families to ultimately save this country. First up, Beyonce is distributing $5,000 grants to people who are facing evictions and foreclosures this holiday season. While many are stressed with what they will do next regarding their housing, we are proud to share some good news. Beyonce is giving $5,000 grants to individuals and families facing foreclosures or evictions. Next up, the GoFund Me Small Business Relief Initiative and Fund FAQs. Do not click the back button as yet, because all you need to do to qualify to receive this grant is start a small business venture. It is not rocket science, ladies and gentlemen. And listen, even if it is rocket science, because it very well can be, take a look at this. On the web, in my spreadsheet, I've gone ahead and linked you. Well, this is $15.99, $12.99 for this course, but I think I got a free one as well. I've linked you to free online courses to learn rocket science if you want to do so. Understand what I'm saying? So all the information is there. You can find it on my spreadsheet, the free education tab, okay? You've got courses to everything you need to do. It is not rocket science. It is nothing too complex in order for you to start your small business, ladies and gentlemen. So all you have to do to qualify for this Small Business Relief Initiative and Fund FAQs, you do not have to prove that you have been operating a business since March or since January, just like these federal government programs, the EIDL, etc. You simply have to operate a small business that you can open today. A small business. All it constitutes you generating revenue from whatever you want to call it. A side hustle, you're selling some of your used items on eBay and generating revenue for it. Of course, you want to formalize it. You want to set up your LLC if you'd like. You don't have to do it for this particular grant in order to qualify. Listen, for every single grant, you have to perform some type of activity in order to be eligible. So why don't you just start a small business so you could be eligible to this? And don't just do it just for the grant, because once you start to develop a small business, you don't have to depend on the government. Look at the back and forth with the disaster relief package. I'm not going to sign it. This group, one political party says no, while the other political party wants more money. Don't depend on the government for anything. This makes you completely independent, where you can stand on your own too. And this is the American dream, owning a small business, because it makes you independent. It's risky for you to just have a job or not have a job at all, because you only rely on one client. Everybody who is employed or who has ever been employed is in business. The only thing is that if you work for an employee as a W-2 employee, you only have one client. Whereas if you work for your own side hustle, your own business, then you have several clients. If your employer decides to lay you off or furlough you, or simply not use your services anymore, force you to resign, etc., you have other clients with which to operate with a small business. The less risky thing to do. Anyway, with the Small Business Relief Initiative and Fund FAQs, with the GoFundMe platform, all you have to do is set up a GoFundMe page and raise at least $500 or even more than that, and GoFundMe will actually match those funds for a $500 grant. And if you didn't put in the money yourself, that $500 that you raise on behalf of friends or other connections, that becomes another $500 grant, which constitutes a $1,000 grant from GoFundMe. You do not have to show an EIN. You don't have to show that you have a legal entity for the business. Simply show that you are selling something. You can sell your used items on eBay, on Craigslist, as I've told you on the previous videos. Your used IKEA furniture goes like this on Craigslist, ladies and gentlemen. Old electronics, they go quickly. Who's up next? NASA is actually soliciting grants right now. She's soliciting people to work with them. All right? We can take a look at the Learn More tab so you could have an idea. If you have an innovative way to operate with NASA, here's the solicitation. And they give you all kinds of information in order for you to participate. They even give you guides, and you can call the federal government. A lot of government employees, they help you out with this stuff. They help guide you through the process. If you have some type of innovative plan, just like that American Seed Fund that I told you about, that offered grants of up to $1.75 million for people, not even businesses, because you don't have to have a business set up as yet, for people who have an innovative idea, all right, the American Seed Fund, and that's linked in this spreadsheet, have an innovative idea. Once you get into the solicitation process, then you have to set up your legal entity. You can do that through LegalZoom or through your lawyer, or you can do it yourself by contacting the Department of State and filing your LLC. That way, I even have an article on my spreadsheet under the Business Resources tab, which from LegalZoom, and it gives you the information, what are the pros and cons of filing your LLC in your home state, or in Delaware, or in Nevada, or in Wyoming, etc. Just set it up. It's nothing too complex. I've had my business established since 2010. 10 days after I got laid off from the Nielsen Company, ladies and gentlemen, I set up my business. All the people that, actually, the Nielsen Company sold all the magazines for which I worked, and all of those magazines hired me back as an independent contractor. You're an independent contractor, you have a business. You sell items on Poshmark, or on Shopify, or on Etsy, or on eBay, or on Craigslist. You have a business. Of course, you want to start to report that revenue in your taxes, pay taxes on that revenue. I know it, but y'all got to pay taxes on this revenue. Nonetheless, you still have the revenue. Understand what I'm saying? And by you paying taxes and reporting this revenue, there's opportunities for you to obtain credit. For you, if the more you formalize it, the better in a position you will be to grow your business. You get capital. There's ways for you to get business financing, etc. All these things that we can discuss. Feel free to leave your comments in the comment section below after you watch this video until the end, and I'll fill you in on everything you could do and everything you could learn that I link you to in this spreadsheet, in the grant spreadsheet. You can turn into a business. I'm going to show you how in this video. Click the subscribe button, click the bell notification to stay on top of all of this, ladies and gentlemen. So as I told you, I got the business resources page, USA, how to tell federal government. The federal government, as I showed you before, I'm not going to show you again, I showed you several times, but you can take a look at the FAQ. Just go ahead. This is the American Seed Fund that I told you about, okay? They've got an FAQ section, and they actually tell you do not have to have a business. Go ahead and go to USA.gov so you can learn how to build a business and look all of these grants for which you qualify. And I've got grants for everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Not only businesses. Look, these are for businesses. These are grants that they target people in different states in the areas that these programs service. For individuals, I've got this 2021 fact-checking fellowship. I'll let you take a look at that right now, as a matter of fact. I got the whole tab set up already with the education you need to go up and follow up on that real quick. So yeah, I took you off the NASA. You know, NASA wants to work with you. And then I mentioned these before, but I'll go ahead and mention these again. This is the NAV Small Business Grant. Again, you don't have to show that you had your business established in January, February, October. You can start your business right now and apply for this thing in January 2021. Take a look at the eligibility requirements. Okay? Talk about previous winners. All they want to hear is your story. Your story could be the struggle of you starting your small business. Now, don't just do it for the grant. Do it to hold your own on this planet. Understand? Because there is no better position that you could be in than operating your own business. That's how you hold your own tool. You don't need the help from the government, from anybody. You sell something and it's a wrap. You got the money you need to pay your rent, to save and feed your families. Look, we hope to announce dates for the next contest in early 2021. They also don't require a legal entity or EIN. And if you need all that stuff, again, refer back to my grant, go to the Business Resources tab, and look, apply for your EIN right here. You can apply for your EIN through the IRS. It's free to do. And all you need is a social security number, and it lists the rest of the requirements there. Look, you may apply for EIN if your personal business is located in the United States. The person applying online must have a valid taxpayer identification number, SSN, EITN, EIN, etc. So EIN, applying for an EIN. Come on, this is the mecca of capitalism, ladies and gentlemen, and you need to tap into this stuff. So there's a $10,000 grant for GrubHub drivers. I'm not sure this applies to everyone. Nonetheless, I threw it in there. Okay, you have until January 4th, 2021 to apply. I've got an NYC training grant. Okay, remember I told you about on the previous video. That's why I say subscribe, click the bell notification. Look, I spoke to this lady. Her name is Afia Harrison. She's the training coordinator with Workforce Room. Remember, I'm a certified instructor with the Small Business Services Agency in New York City. And She provides all this information. You can contact her directly too. I have all her direct contact information. I told her about you. I said that students are interested in all this training in New York. I know there's a lot of people from New York City, baby, so I take care of my own. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Jamaica, Queens, New York. Anyway, commercial driver's training. If you want to be a CDL, these are the requirements, okay? It's all listed over here. Cable and networking training, BNYC. And contact your workforce centers in your states because they typically offer all of this stuff. If, for instance, my brother, he got his CDL Class A in Pennsylvania, and I got a training grant for my CDL Class A. So as I told you in my previous video, don't be surprised when I'm telling you about the next grant, honking on my horn, driving a 53-foot tractor trailer with a monkey hanging off my neck, the bear, and I'm Smokey, baby. Anyway, forgive the corniness. Amber grants for women, $25,000 grant, and I link all of this stuff over here. Now take a look at this. I didn't mention this before. Facebook Journalism Project. Okay, Facebook is actually funding employment with iconic publications so you can learn how to become a fact checker, a journalist basically, and one of the most notable journalists, especially in this day and age with all the fake news going around, a fact checker. They train you how to do it, and then they'll have you working with these iconic organizations for about a year's time. Fellows will be paid a competitive salary and will receive benefits packages from their employers. Fellows will be directly employed by their host organization. Fellows will not be directly employed by Facebook or NABJ. This is a full-time position. And these are some of the organizations that you'll be operating with. PolitiFact, the Associated Press, Reuters, USA Today, Fact Check the Dispatch Agency, check your fact eligibility. This is a full-time position, so you're not looking to employ journalists. They don't want experience. They don't want Dan Rather. Okay? This is a full-time, or Joe Kernan, or, this is a full-time position, so we are not looking to employ journalists with other positions. To apply, fellows will need to be trained journalists. College level experience is sufficient. This could be their first job. This could be the first job. There are journalists who don't even have college level experience. Must be 18 years or older, must be legally permitted to work. If a student, cumulative GPA, all right, so if you're a student, so this works for students and everything. Now, in the event you don't know how to be a journalist, you know how to write. You gotta know how to read and write. And if you don't, there's lessons for that. Look, I just included this real quick. It's not that hard to become a journalist. You simply have to ask who, what, when, where, how. Okay? I'm a trained journalist. I got a scholarship into New York University to study journalism. So I studied journalism for several years in New York University, and there's free courses on it. It's not too complex, ladies and gentlemen. And the beauty about you studying journalism is that it teaches you the development of content in the most objective way possible. It teaches you how to not be biased, okay? You learn how to research, how to find evidence for things, to prove your arguments, not just say, oh, I think this and that, but actually find the statistics that substantiate everything that you're saying, that you're writing about. Look, there's free classes to do it. English for Journalism at the University of Pennsylvania, Michigan, the Michigan State University, Journalism, the Future, and You. They give these classes away. So you could apply for this thing. In the meantime, you can start doing it. And even if it doesn't work for this fellowship, you could become a freelance writer on a website such as Fiverr or such. And you could sell articles. Let me just show you. Look, I have more. Look, English for Journalism, free class. Top journalism courses, free class. Okay? Broadcast journalism, free class. This you can get it if you have the iTunes U app on iPhone or iPad. You can download this course and do it. You know what's a great education source? Audible. A lot of people don't do it. I'm not affiliated with them, but I pay their $14.95 or so, whatever it is you have to pay. But when I'm driving, I love road trips. I've got that thing playing like on 2x, 3x. As fast as I can do it, I'm consuming all kinds of information. It's like the Matrix. Look, introduction to this, you have to get a 7-day free premium trial. I'm not affiliated to any of this stuff. No affiliates to any of this stuff. Perhaps in the future, not now. And this is as simple as it is. Like, you could turn journalism into your own business, just like what I did. This is all my content right here on the politics subreddit on Reddit. And I drove millions of views to this platform, partnering with the Barack Obama 2012 campaign. And look, take a look. This is a fact check right here. The president has not signed one new free trade agreement. Obama signed 3. This is the article right here. This thing welcomed millions of views. if you know anything about Reddit, if you're able to make the front page of some of these most popular Reddits, then subreddits, which is another word for categories on Reddit, and you will drive anywhere from hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands to millions of views to the website that you've linked. So Jim Crow types voter suppression, Romney, and I didn't even have to manipulate this system, okay? This is so left-leaning, this category, that you just have to lean into it. That doesn't make, I'm apolitical regardless. I mean, I just saw the Dallas Federal Reserve president. He went on CNBC and he stated today, listen, he's apolitical. So there's no reason for you to say, oh, I'm a Democrat. You're only a Democrat or Republican if you're getting paid for it, ladies and gentlemen. So don't get, that now you're left-leaning. I don't care. Listen, I could have done this for either side. And I worked with Donald Trump before he became president, before he got into the politics. I helped together with the Arena Corps, we launched the first professional amateur Manhattan golf classic in Manhattan history on Governor's Island. So don't tell me about I'm apolitical. So the Dallas Federal Reserve president, he said he's apolitical. He's not he checked his politics at the door because he doesn't get paid for it. He doesn't get paid to be a congressperson anymore. I think he was a congressperson prior to that. Come on, so get off of it. It's all about getting the greenbacks, man. Romney, the president has not signed. That's the article that I wrote right here. It drove millions of views to this thing. And you can just look. This is how when we partner with the Obama campaign. Look, it's premium content now. You got to pay to read my content. Got paid thousands of dollars for doing this for Forbes. Understand? Look how social media got me developing for Michelle Obama. Bang. You could do it. And this is someone who grew up with no silver spoon. I'm from Jamaica, Queens, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, the most impoverished communities in the United States. South Suicide, Queens, ladies and gentlemen. I went to Hillcrest, all right? Like I told you in my previous video, some dude that grew up a few blocks away from me bashed Columbia law professor's brain in because the Columbia law professor had raped him after popping like a roofie in his drink or some pills. Look, you can learn how to write news stories right here, and you can sell this stuff, man, right on YouTube. This is free. It's all free. Look, for people with English as a second language, you've got United States Geological Survey grant. If you can learn, now listen, don't be discouraged because you can learn this stuff. I dabble with some programming myself. If you could yank data to present it in a 3D platform, in some sort of 3D package for the United States Geological Survey, they've got money for you. If you want to learn how to do that, you got time in your hands right now. This is probably, according to my friend who's a top programmer, he's the chief developer over at Comcast, he said this is the best AI course that you could learn from. Look, if you enroll now, the class actually starts today. AI for everyone. That said, let me just go ahead and go back to the grants real quick and move on this. After you watch this video into the end, start applying for these programs. You can look at the deadlines. Next week, you start seeing all kinds of deadlines. A lot of this is powered with CARES Act money, okay? That runs out, as you know, the 26th comes, all kinds. So look, a lot of this stuff is due on the 28th. You've got nationwide grants right here. Go ahead and work towards this, ladies and gentlemen. And again, you got the business resources tab, individual grants, you got rent and utilities assistance, that Beyonce grant that I told you about, the fact check fellowship, what I discovered in November, free education. You want to become a Google advertising marketing specialist. I've got it's not the Google AdWords platform anymore, but you got links to how you can become digitally proficient. The last thing I want to show you is Fiverr, anything that you learn to which I link, you can basically sell it right here. So let's say you become a journalist, right? If you become a journalist, you're gonna be better than 99.9% of all bloggers out there because no one is typically trained to do all this stuff, all right? To be a journalist, to actually get interviews, go directly to the source and get the information that proves whatever it is. You could sell articles at what? Look, informative speech at $30. You can start writing articles, and especially if you're a native English speaker, a lot of your competition, they come from other countries. No offense for people from other countries. Nonetheless, if you're a native English speaker, you already have a background in writing in English from your high school and potentially collegiate education, and you basically add on to it some more technical training, learn how to be a journalist, non-stoppable. Sky's the limit, ladies and gentlemen. Scrape what those buildings are doing back in Manhattan. Let me know what you think. Drop your comments in the comment section below. Watch this video right here. For more grant coverage, click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the bell notification to stay on top of every grant I encounter. May God bless you. May God bless the United States of America and everybody else on this planet. Talk soon. Merry Christmas.